It's a new day on Tesla Shorts Time, daily episode 498. Coming to you from Vancouver, it's June 3rd, 2026. Plenty going on in EV land. Let's get to it. Halifax gets its first Supercharger site under construction, extending the network into Atlantic Canada for the first time. US EV registrations fell for the 8th straight month according to fresh motor intelligence data. The decline spans multiple models and occurs against rising competition plus shifting buyer incentives. Tesla has not announced major pricing or inventory moves to address the pattern. The streak raises questions about demand elasticity in the largest EV market. Earnings commentary later this quarter may address any mitigation steps. While sales pressure builds at home, Tesla is still pushing software forward with the latest FSD updates. Revised Tesla FSD v14.3.3 is now installing on Model Y vehicles equipped with the latest hardware. Owners report the updated package following the broader V14 series that brought incremental perception and control improvements. The revision targets specific edge cases identified during earlier supervised testing. The rollout continues as Tesla refines the stack ahead of wider, unsupervised ambitions. Next, watch for release notes or owner reports on behavior changes in complex urban scenarios. Tesla informed Australian owners that FSD supervised V14 for Hardware 4 vehicles remains in final local development and testing. The message indicates region-specific validation is nearing completion before wider deployment. HW4 cars in Australia have waited longer than some other markets for the latest supervised version. This step addresses local regulatory and mapping requirements that differ from North American conditions. Attentive listeners should monitor for the first confirmed installs in the coming weeks. As the software keeps evolving, Tesla is also using social channels to keep the conversation light. The official Tesla account posted an image captioned, "My car also has FSD," alongside a humorous vehicle comparison. The post continues the pattern of using light social content to highlight the feature's growing presence during the V14 rollout. Tesla also posted a playful reference to the fictional Smuggler's Bay with the line, "The first rule of Smuggler's Bay is, you do not talk about Smuggler's Bay, geez." The account often uses short, humorous posts to engage followers outside technical updates. It shows the brand maintaining a casual tone on X, even as major programs advance. Tesla reached a new cumulative sales threshold in the United Kingdom amid rising pressure from European and Chinese rivals. The milestone reflects steady demand for the Model Y and Model 3, despite a broader market slowdown. Local pricing adjustments and availability of refreshed variants supported the result. The company now faces direct competition from several new battery electric entrants in the same segments. Future quarters will show whether the UK trajectory holds against these challengers. The Model X ranked as the top-selling used electric vehicle in recent North American data, while hybrid models continued gaining share overall. Strong residual values for the three-row SUV reflect sustained demand from buyers seeking larger battery electric options. The result stands out against slower used EV volume growth in other segments. Tesla's earlier production ramp and warranty coverage likely contribute to the model's appeal on the secondary market. Observers will track whether refreshed Model X inventory sustains this position. BYD leads EV sales in the UK, Australia, and Brazil combined. BYD now leads EV sales in the UK, Australia, and Brazil combined after aggressive pricing and faster model refreshes. Tesla's overseas volumes grew, but not enough to hold the top position in those regions. The change highlights how quickly market leadership can move when multiple competitors scale simultaneously. The same competitive pressure is visible in emerging markets, where BYD has already taken a large share of Africa. BYD secured roughly one-third of electric vehicle sales across African markets through aggressive pricing and local partnerships. Tesla's later entry focuses on establishing a foothold via a planned presence in Morocco rather than immediate volume across the continent. The contrast highlights differing go-to-market approaches between the two companies in emerging regions. Infrastructure limitations and price sensitivity remain key barriers for any brand. The Morocco strategy will be watched for its ability to generate meaningful volume. Electric vehicles nudge 30% sales share as Tesla Model Y becomes Australia's best-selling car. Battery electric vehicles reached nearly 30% of new car sales in Australia during May, with the Model Y claiming the overall top spot. The result marks the first time EVs crossed that threshold in a single month. Multiple Chinese brands also posted strong numbers, widening buyer choice in the segment. The Model Y's position reflects both competitive pricing and established charging infrastructure. Continued growth will depend on supply of refreshed variants and home charger adoption. Model YL long wheelbase variant spotted at Fremont. A longer wheelbase Model Y variant appeared during testing at the Fremont facility. The sighting suggests continued development of an extended range or 7-seat configuration. No official confirmation or specifications have been released by Tesla. The vehicle's presence at the California plant indicates the program remains active alongside other refresh efforts. Production timing and market allocation remain open questions. That platform flexibility ties directly into how Tesla approaches engineering decisions overall. Taking a step back from today's headlines, the appearance of a longer wheelbase Model Y at the Fremont test track challenges the assumption that Tesla only iterates on existing platforms rather than spawning distinct variants. The sighting suggests the company is willing to stretch the Model Y architecture for specific market or seating needs without waiting for an all-new skateboard. This approach keeps development costs and timelines shorter than starting from a clean sheet. Engineering data from prior Tesla refreshes shows that wheelbase extensions of roughly 150 to 200 millimeters can be achieved with relatively modest changes to structural castings and battery pack length. Those changes preserve the majority of shared tooling and supplier relationships while unlocking new cargo or passenger configurations. The economics favor this route when the incremental volume justifies the added complexity at the assembly plant. The practical implication is that Tesla can respond to segment gaps, such as 7-seat demand or longer range utility, without diverting resources from next-generation programs. If the Model YL reaches production, it would test whether buyers value the added space enough to offset any efficiency or handling trade-offs. The next visible signal will be whether similar variants appear in regulatory filings or at other test locations. While the product side experiments with variants, the charging network is quietly expanding in new regions. Construction began on the initial Supercharger location in Halifax, Nova Scotia. The site represents the first permanent DC fast charging installation in the province for Tesla vehicles. Local owners have previously relied on destination chargers or longer drives to reach the nearest stations. The project aligns with Tesla's gradual expansion of the network into secondary Canadian markets. Completion timing and stall count will determine usability for regional travel. Network growth abroad contrasts with an unexpected fleet win closer to home. Emergency services in Kazakhstan placed an order for Cybertruck units, marking an unexpected government fleet adoption. The vehicles will serve operational roles where durability and off-road capability matter. Tesla has not disclosed pricing or delivery schedules for the export market. The sale demonstrates interest beyond the initial North American customer base. Future fleet orders could provide additional volume signals for the model. That fleet interest sits alongside Tesla's broader push into used car strength and regional sales milestones. Rivian R2 performance claims edge over Model Y performance in a recent Car Buzz comparison. The analysis cites advantages in ride quality, interior space, and certain performance metrics. Rivian has not yet begun customer deliveries of the R2, so real-world data remains limited. The comparison underscores growing competition in the performance SUV segment. A fleet operator shared video of a Tesla Semi climbing California's Grapevine grade with a full trailer. The operator described the performance as impressive given the payload. The demonstration adds to limited public data on real-world Semi capability. Production volume and additional fleet orders remain the next milestones to watch. Tesla filed a legal action in Manitoba to recover rebates previously denied on certain vehicle sales. The case centers on eligibility rules that the company argues were applied inconsistently. A favorable ruling could affect similar programs in other provinces. The outcome will clarify how rebate frameworks treat direct sales models. Nearly all major EV makers plan to drop native CCS1 ports by the 2027 model year in favor of NACS. Only a handful of holdouts remain, mostly lower volume nameplates. The transition simplifies charging access for Tesla owners and non-Tesla drivers using the network. Remaining CCS1 vehicles will require adapters for broader compatibility. There is a challenge worth discussing. U.S. registrations fell for the 8th straight month, spanning multiple models amid rising competition. The streak coincides with broader market shifts toward hybrids and new EV entrants. Tesla has not detailed specific inventory or pricing responses in the latest data release. The trend raises the question of whether recent software and hardware updates can reverse buyer hesitation before the next earnings report. Tomorrow, we'll be watching for any first confirmed FSD V14 installs in Australia and further details on the Model YL testing program. That's your Tesla news for today. TSLA closed at $423.74, up $7.86, 1.9%. If you found this useful, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. You can also find us on X at Tesla Shorts Time. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Planetarian Daily a listen. Daily breakthroughs in science, health, and longevity. You can explore the whole lineup at neuranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.